Called effects of narcissistic abuse. Hi there, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dr. Nachiketa, and this is the fourth video in our narcissistic relationship series. In my previous videos, we've discussed the traits of a narcissistic partner and how to end a narcissistic relationship. We also talked about how to support someone suffering in a narcissistic relationship. In today's video, I will talk about the effects of being in a narcissistic relationship. Now, many people might think it is not harmful to live with a narcissist, but they're gravely mistaken. Partners with narcissism can become abusive in their attempt to control their partner. And they will continue to stay abusive as long as it makes them happy. So the first effect of narcissistic abuse is anxiety and stress. The first common effect of being in a narcissistic situation with a partner who is basically has narcissism is stress and anxiety. The partner undergoes a lot of stress on a daily basis while they're in a relationship with a person with narcissism. They're concerned about the narcissistic partner's happiness and will do anything not to make them angry. Now, this constant stress leads to triggering anxiety, which becomes worse with time. The victim is always concerned about something that might upset the partner and make them angry. The second impact of living with a narcissistic partner is that can lead to developing a sense of loneliness. A narcissistic partner expects love, respect, attention, and fulfillment of all their physical and emotional needs from their partner. However, they do not reciprocate the same or even think about the other partner's feelings. As a result, their partners feel lonely and have no one to talk to who would understand their feelings or problems. This prolonged sense of loneliness makes them despair and sad. Now, combined with stress and anxiety, the victim becomes prone to developing depression. Now, this brings us to the third impact of narcissistic abuse: depression. It is very common for partners of those with narcissism to develop signs of depression. The deteriorated mental health, negligence of prioritizing themselves, for example, and all these things can further worsen the depression. The victim might even feel guilty for being abused by the partner and think about ways to, punish themselves. And these thoughts can soon become suicidal, a threat to their own lives. Moving on to the fourth impact of being in a narcissistic relationship, which is the post-traumatic stress. Now, even after exiting the abusive relationship, the victim might struggle with symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. Staying with a narcissistic partner compels the victim to be highly cautious. Their minds always race when the toxic partner is around. And the idea behind that is that the victim tries to predict what will happen next or what might upset their partner. So they're constantly in a sense of high alert. And the victim finds it hard to lower their guard and relax even when they're parted ways with the partner who's been abusing them. And moving on to the fifth impact of narcissistic abuse, beg your pardon, low self-esteem. The narcissistic partner will never let go of any opportunity to belittle their partner and to brag about themselves. They will imply to the partner that they're the best in every way and that the partner is not good enough. Now, this traps the victim in believing that the narcissist is right and that he or the victim is not good enough for them. This consequently leads to low self-esteem and low self-confidence. The victim will start doubting their abilities, decisions, and even opinions. They will seek constant approval from the narcissistic partner and do not rely on their own judgment. The sixth effect of narcissistic abuse is self-blaming. Narcissistic abuse victims often blame themselves for whatever happened to them. They regret the decision to come into a relationship with a narcissist. Moreover, the narcissistic partner's constant bashing, mocking, and belittling further makes the victim think that something is wrong with them. They start questioning their self-worth, habits, and beliefs. In severe cases of self-blaming, the victim starts hating themselves. They also think of ways to hurt themselves as a punishment for whatever is wrong in their lives, because according to them, they are the reason for it, and hence the punishment. Moving on to the seventh effect of being in a relationship with a narcissistic partner, the cognitive issues. The concentration issues also arise for narcissistic abuse victims. Their minds are always thinking about the toxic partners or replaying painful memories. The disturbed brain finds it hard to focus on daily chores, study, work, job, or even communication with close friends and relatives. The eighth damaging impact of being in a narcissistic relationship is struggling with sleep problems. It is difficult to sleep peacefully when your mind is stressed and replays the painful events of your day. People in narcissistic relationships feel alone and unhappy. Now, due to these reasons, they have trouble falling asleep and staying asleep. Their minds get busy thinking of what they did wrong and what triggered their partner to abuse them emotionally. Another sleep problem that the victim faces is nightmares. So, when we go to sleep, our subconscious mind kind of stays awake, resurfaces our memories and experiences which come along with it, which result in nightmares. And some victims require professional treatment to get rid of these nightmares and sleep peacefully. And this professional treatment might, be limited to talking to someone or might require medication. But help is needed. Moving on to the ninth effect of being in a relationship with a narcissistic partner, emotional problems. Understanding and managing your emotions become an uphill task if you're a victim of a narcissistic relationship. A narcissist never takes into account the feelings of the partner. The partner feels alone and upset and keeps their feelings to themselves. And as a result, they find it hard to open up to someone and discuss their problems. Now, another problem that arises from this sort of, forced behavior is, of course, that the victim becomes emotionally numb. They don't feel any emotion. It's actually our mind's, way of protecting us from further pain. However, emotional numbness might cause the person to become bitter and hurtful towards others. So the victims should be encouraged to win their feelings positively and manage their emotions. Once again, it's important to keep in mind that having a professional, help somebody who's going through this is important. And that can be your doctor, your therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist. That's important to keep in the back of your mind. And number 10, trust issues. Dating or being in a relationship with somebody who's been through, narcissistic abuse is just understandably tricky because of how they've felt in that situation before. Because when you're in a relationship with a narcissistic person, it kind of gives you a death blow to your confidence. And moreover, the victim believes that they're not worthy of love and respect. So when the victim is appreciated, respected, or treated with love, and they feel uncomfortable, they find it hard to trust a person and believe that they have some hidden motive behind their nice behavior, because that's what they're used to from their previous narcissistic relationship. Narcissistic abuse victims find it difficult to connect with people and trust them with their feelings. Well, the good news is that change does take place with help. Number 11, people pleasing. Partners in a narcissistic relationship constantly think about their partner's happiness and try to earn the appreciation of the narcissistic partner. They will seek the constant approval of the narcissist to go above and beyond to keep their partners happy. And are trapped into believing that if they keep their narcissistic partner happy, only then do they deserve respect and love. Now this leads to them, becoming a people pleaser. So the victim tries to keep everybody around them happy, even if it's at the expense of their own happiness and peace. This develops as a survival technique while in that abusive relationship, and then becomes a regular thing. Number 12, self-destructive thoughts. Victims often feel that the only way out of the narcissistic relationship is to end their lives or their abuser's life. And suicidal and homicidal thoughts are, often sort of play in the victim's mind. First, these thoughts are often, but when the abuse becomes severe, the thoughts become recurring and force the victim to act on them. But keeping in mind the low self-confidence and low self-esteem of the victim, the very idea of thinking that a homicide would be a way out of it becomes markedly reduced compared to suicidal thoughts. Now, if the victim is not helped out of the relationship, they might take drastic measures to hurt themselves or those around them. The impacts of narcissistic abuse and the effects of it on the victim are very harmful. They lose their confidence, become emotionally numb, and might develop depression. The victim can also get frequent suicidal and self-destructive thoughts. So if a victim asks you to help, make sure you support them. You should also encourage them to seek professional help to overcome their trauma, because it does make a difference. In my next video, we'll talk about victim shaming and how you can play a part in stopping it. So stay tuned. And of course, once again, thank you for watching this video. And don't forget, if you find that you're struggling with something or things bothering you, reach out for help. Help exists, and it does make a difference. Thank you. Take care.